dare you to watch until the end. This story will have you questioning every shadow and sound in the dark. When I was 12, my class went on an overnight camping trip. The cabins were old, creaky, and felt like they'd collapse if you sneezed too hard. The woods around us were unnaturally quiet, and the place just felt wrong. My friends thought I was overthinking it, but I couldn't shake the feeling something was watching us. On the second night, I woke up around 3 a.m., my bladder screaming at me. The bathrooms were in a separate building, about 50 yards from the cabins. Even in daylight, they were gross. Mildew-stained walls, cracked tiles, flickering lights. But at night, they were horrifying. I tried to hold it, but it was no use. Grabbing my flashlight, I headed out into the freezing dark. The silence outside was oppressive. No wind, no crickets, just stillness. The bathroom building loomed ahead, its door slightly ajar, swaying softly in the breeze. I hesitated. Something about it felt off. But I was desperate, so I pushed the door open. It creaked loudly, the sound echoing. The air inside was damp and smelled metallic, like rust or blood. I told myself it was my imagination and hurried into the first stall, locking the door behind me. As I sat there, I heard it, the main door creaking open again. My heart skipped a beat. "Hello," I called out, my voice trembling. No answer. I crouched down to peek under the stalls, but there was no one. Maybe it was the wind, I thought, trying to calm myself. But then the lights flickered violently and went out completely. I fumbled for my flashlight, turned it on, and scanned the room. The stalls were empty, but my stomach twisted when I noticed the last stall door was now closed. I was sure it had been open before. I tried to convince myself I was mistaken, but then I heard it. A soft, wet, dragging sound, like something crawling across the floor. My flashlight flickered, and in that split second of darkness, I felt the air shift, like something had moved. When the beam steadied, I saw it. A pale, spindly figure crouched in the far corner. Its limbs were unnaturally long, bending at impossible angles. Its face was hidden by matted, filthy hair, but I could feel its eyes locked on me. Then it smiled, a grotesque grin, teeth sharp and jagged. Before I could even process what I was seeing, it moved, scuttling toward me on all fours like a spider. Its joints cracked loudly with every step. I screamed, threw open the stall door, and ran. The bathroom door seemed miles away, but I reached it and burst outside. Behind me, I heard the bathroom door slam open, and something heavy hit the ground, chasing me. I sprinted back to the cabin, flinging the door shut and locking it. My friends, Daniel and Mark, jolted awake. "What's wrong?" Daniel asked, but I couldn't speak. I just sat there, shaking, gripping my flashlight like it was a lifeline. They laughed it off, calling me paranoid, but I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. The next morning, chaos erupted. Kevin, one of the boys in our group, had gone missing. The teachers and police searched for hours before finding him, in the last stall of the bathroom. They wouldn't tell us much, but I overheard an officer whisper, "It's like he was crushed from the inside out." To this day, I can't stop thinking about that figure. Whatever it wasn't human. And the worst part, I don't think it was after Kevin. I think it was after me. Sometimes, in the dead of night, I still hear that dragging sound, closer and closer.